And welcome back to the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. Thank you for hanging out with us. Now, according to Pew Research Center, 47% of Americans say dating is more difficult now than it was 10 years ago. With beryl sweeping through and trapping a lot of folk together at home, it could turn a relationship that's already in trouble into a drive-through disaster. That's if you don't address the elephant in the room that you have problems. Let's see if we can salvage it for you here tonight on The Factor with Dr. Angela Jones. And joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, Dr. Angela Jones. Dr. Jones, obviously, people are going through a tough time here in the Houston region as a result of Hurricane Beryl. You and I are both going through it. I just finally got some power back. What occurred with you? For the viewers who
well, yeah, we had no lights, but I was some of the lucky ones that got electricity now, but my fence is totally down. Trees in our area are down. So it was an unexpected Category 1 hurricane that came through. So I think Houston is just, we're all just trying to hold on and get our stuff together.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad you're okay. Now, what we wanted to talk about, couples, whether you're married or you're living together, what have you, and you're already going through a shaky relationship, a situation like this, a natural disaster could put burden on that relationship, a whole lot of pressure. And so when you feel like things are crumbling around you as a result of trying to deal with hurricane damage and the lack of power and all the heat, and the relationship is already in trouble, how do you how do you deal with that, Dr. Jones?
And unfortunately, this is a time where relationships realize how bad their relationship is. Because if you're in a healthy relationship, even if you're having a tough time, when external tough times come in, like a hurricane or a flood or something like that, there is a tendency for people to come together and really work together as a team. But if you are having a sustained bad relationship with bad communication, bad energy, then something like a hurricane with no electricity, we're hot, we're uncomfortable, is definitely it rises the temperature in the relationship. And it really shows you, honestly, where you are. Even in friendships, it kind of tells you when tough times happen, you really get to see the type of person you're dealing with. And unfortunately, this can be one of those times. Now, I have seen couples or married, those that are married, actually have a really bad relationship, and when they come together at this time for the better good, which means we're going to put aside our differences, and that's honestly what you're going to have to do. And sometimes you have to do that by actually saying, hey, this is a tough time. Can we just put all our differences aside and just work together so we can get through this?
Is that giving someone in the relationship, though, a false sense of security after the tough times over? They're like, well, we did so good during the hurricane. Are we back good again? And how do you even deal with that now once the hurricane is over?
It can kind of create, like you said, a false sense of security, because what they'll say is well, maybe we're not as bad as we think we are. But the thing is that one thing you can say is we're able to put our things aside to get through a tough time. But all those issues that you had before the hurricane came or any kind of natural disaster came is still, unfortunately, still there, and those will slowly creep back in. So you may float in this space that we're doing well, we were able to get through this together, we were uncomfortable and we were able to communicate well. That doesn't mean just throw away all the other issues that you have. That means that we need to work on our issues, but it also can tell you that we have the capability to work on these issues together if we say, hey, let's make an agreement. We're going to communicate better. We're going to talk to each other better. We're going to have better intimacy. That shows that you have the ability to do that. So it just really depends on how you view it.
Always key is having that conversation, the advice that you always give us. Never just go to your mutual corner and not talk. If you don't talk, you won't solve the problem.
Correct. And, sometimes you have to talk through the pain, and sometimes you're worried about what the person is going to say. So if I suggest that we kind of push it aside, I'm worried she or he's going to blow up on me. Well, I'd rather you take the chance and say that, because this is a tough time. There's people that are still currently sitting in houses that are like sweat boxes,
Yeah.
and they don't, all their food is, you know, melted or going bad, and they don't have any gas. Like, it's just, you have to take that chance because you have to get through this time in order for you guys to get to a place to work on your relationship.
All right, Dr. Angela Jones, I'm sure a lot of people will need to talk to you after the storm. So where can they find you on social media, and how can they contact you?
You can find me on Instagram at Dr. Angela Jones, or you can go to my website and go to angelajonesphd.com.
All right, Dr. Jones, always good to see you, and we're glad you survived beryl.
Thank you. I'm glad you're okay too.
Always good.